Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my channel. And this is Tanush, and I'm back with our 2023 Saturn Transit series. And today I'll be talking about Cancer Ascendant or Karka Lagna. Right. So I have received many comments saying to make video in Hindi language. So surely I'll make in the future, because right now I don't have that much of leverage. It becomes quite difficult for me to manage, but surely once I probably get full time into astrology, probably I can plan for that in the future. Surely my video बनाऊंगा हिंदी में भविष्य में, जब मैं इसमें full time आ जाऊंगा surely मैं बनाऊंगा, right? And I also got requests to make these videos in Marathi language, because Marathi is my mother tongue. And especially I got 2-3 messages. So one was Shashank Karmarkar, and a couple of others whom I know. So Shashank, surely मी फ्युचर मध्ये व्हिडिओ बनवेल मराठीमध्ये, पण सध्या तेवढं वेळ नाही आहे माझ्याकडे. बट so what I promise you guys is I'll mention the name of the sign, houses and transits in Hindi too, so that it becomes quite easy for you to understand, right? And thank you so much for all your concern, your encouragement, for me to carry on with this, right? So now, speaking about Cancer Ascendant, I would like to talk a little bit about what happened to Cancer Ascendant guys from Jan 2020, and it's still going on, and it will be till 17th of Jan 2023. And then we'll understand what would happen when Saturn would transit into the sign of Aquarius or Kumbh Rashi, right? So when Shani would transit into the sign of Kumbh Rashi in January 2023. So guys, right from the time when Saturn entered into the sign of Capricorn or Makar Rashi in January 2020. So Capricorn is your 10th house. So for Cancer Ascendant or Karka Lagna, Capricorn or Makar Rashi becomes your 7th house. So it becomes your 7th house. And 7th house signifies the house of marriage. It signifies the house of business partnership, right? It also signifies your profession, because it is 10th from the 10th house. So it signifies your profession, your career, your advancement in your profession, how good you do there, right? So Saturn was there. Now we need to understand a little bit about the sign of Cancer or Karka Rashi. So Cancer is a very soft sign, and it's a sign of nourishment. It is a sign which likes to connect with people emotionally. It's a very soft sign, and generally these kind of people, they take care of others very well. So they are concerned about others. So it's a kind of motherly love, we can say, which they exhibit through their interaction with other people, right? So it's a very soft sign. And when Saturn or Shani came to a 7th house, and it also aspected your ascendant, it also aspected your Lagna, which is your first house, right? So what happens, as we discussed earlier, Saturn and Moon, they don't go well together, and Saturn aspecting the sign of your ascendant or your first house has given you a lot of mental issues, surely, right? So you might have worried about your mother, or there may be issues about your own health, or Saturn might have given issues or concern about few things related to your marriage, business relationship, doubts about your future, issues with travels, maybe some health issues, right? And also issues at your home. So maybe the environment at your home was not very cordial, or there may be issues among family members, or all family members together might be facing some issues, right? So life had become very tough, and because it was aspecting at it, and it is still aspecting your Lagna, right? So the stress levels are still there. It has not come down, right? Now you surely have gone through a lot of issues. Now Saturn in the 7th house or Shani in the 7th house, in the house of Capricorn, makes things very tough. And because 7th house represents the house of your marriage, so you might have faced different types of issues or situations in your marriage, so which may range from quite easy to handle to breaking up of marriage, right? So a wide range depending upon how Saturn is placed in your chart and which dasha you are going through, right? So you might have faced that. So the problems may be disagreement with your spouse, disagreement with your business partners as well, because 7th house also represents a business partnership, right? Tolerating each other for a long period of time, then serious issues maybe again due to disagreement, and things might have gone too bad, very difficult to handle. And in worst cases, so this is not again a blanket statement, but in worst cases, for some people you may be on the verge of getting divorced or separation, right? And some of them might have actually lost their loved ones, very near and dear ones. Then you may be concerned about your mother's health. So it gave a hell lot of issues to Cancer ascendant guys, and they were living in fear and anxiety about their future. So what would happen about their future? And because Saturn is still aspecting your 9th house and was aspecting your 9th house from January 2020, so it always creates that fear and anxiety factor in us, right? So that is happening. And for some of you, maybe you have gone through some health crisis if moon was or is badly placed in your natal chart. And those of you who are Cancer ascendant and Capricorn moon sign, so you were also going through Sadesati, and that would have been the worst phase of your life. And suppose to add to that, if you were going through Saturn Mahadasha, then obviously things were quite difficult to handle, right? So now the good part is things are going to come to an end, and Saturn is about to transit your 8th house, right? Now, many people are generally fearful when Saturn comes to your 8th house, to anyone's 8th house, and there is a valid reason for that. But I always tell this thing: when Saturn comes to the 8th house, and 8th house, Saturn owns the 8th house, then the equation completely changes. It doesn't come there to damage things, it comes there to do the damage control. So there are many things which are hidden, which may be your health issues with your personality, issues with your in-laws which were hidden from long time, issues with finance, right? And Saturn, the main aim of Saturn when it comes to the 8th house is to increase your longevity, and the way it does is it will actually disclose or bring to the surface what are the hidden issues in your body, in your mind, in your personality, and that is how it does it. So it doesn't give things easily. So first it brings all the things to the surface, and when we look at it, we start feeling that, my God, Saturn has come to my 8th house, right? Shani has come to Ashtam Sthan, right? So 8th house is considered bad, and see what Saturn is actually giving me. It's giving me, my plate is full of issues. So these things I have to handle. But guys, remember that Saturn is just digging out, all the hidden issues which were buried underneath, deep underneath. And some of the issues were quite secretive in nature, and they were troubling you a lot. So you understand that, and when you start looking at things from that perspective, then actually you will understand the plan of Saturn. So Saturn is coming there to do the damage control. So is the transit bad? I wouldn't say the transit is bad, because 8th house is the house of Saturn itself. How can it damage its own house? Saturn never does that. And like I always say, Saturn behaves differently when it is in the sign of Capricorn, and quite differently when it is in the sign of Aquarius. So Aquarius or Kumbh Rashi is a Mool Trikon Rashi of Saturn, where Saturn becomes quite peaceful, quite contented. And it, like I say, it has already given you the life lessons, how to handle issues, how to get matured. So be prepared for that. when you see things from that perspective, then you'll understand that, things are going to get better, right? Now, people who are involved in the profession of research, like PhDs or research into some pharma domain, or any domain. So pharma is a very special domain. People who are involved in that domain and who are Cancer ascendant or Karka Lagna will do amazing things during this period, right? So if you are involved in research, if you are involved in some secret kind of activities for government, like the secret services, James Bond and all those kind of things, or you are involved in military activities, and mining, right? So all these things, all these people will see that they are going to get wonderful chances to develop their skills and to implement those skill set, and thereby growing in their respective fields. And this combination is also going to be very good for doctors, especially for doctors, right? Now, for people who are involved in a political field, right, for them also Saturn or Shani gives a wonderful window for them to connect with the masses, understand their mood, right? So if you connect with the with wrong intention to exploit, then it's not going to work out, because it's Saturn, right? We need to understand that. So if you have the right intention to connect with the people, to understand their mood and to serve them, then this transit is going to be one of the excellent transits for politicians, especially. And people who are also involved into insurance sector, who are involved into finance, this is going to be amazing thing, amazing transit. Now, Saturn also aspects your 10th house. So what Saturn expects, because it is the third aspect, it expects you to work hard in developing your skill set, and it will give you the opportunity to work with large group of people. You can work in project where number of people are involved, where you do a lot of communication with people. So you will have to work hard, but you are going to see the results. It's not that you will have to wait, like Saturn in Capricorn. You will have to wait for a long period of time to see the results. The results would be very fast, but again you will have to put in a lot of effort, right? Now, from there, Saturn also aspects your second house, and when Saturn aspects the second house, any issues with your family lineage, or issues with family property, ancestral property, and all those things, you'll be able to fix. So any problems you're facing with ancestral property can now be discussed, and you can come to a common consensus where you can actually sort out all the differences. And if you're not connected to your family, this is the time where you can connect to the family, right? And Saturn here also will give an opportunity to increase your wealth, right? But be a little careful into what you invest into, where you invest your money. You have to be a little careful on that front, right? Now, Saturn from there also aspects your fifth house of children, fifth house of speculation, gains through speculation, and also fifth house of generally love and romance, as they say. Now, this aspect of Saturn makes things little difficult, so you need to engage with your children, right? So it's not going to be so easy. So what it means is that you need to be very conscious, you need to put in little efforts, be conscious, and then engage with your children, and then things should be fine. So if you take it easily, a casual discussion wouldn't do. So if you have any differences, or if you want to train your children, or encourage them to study well, so you need to engage with them. You have to sit with them, talk to them, otherwise it's not going to work. So same thing will apply with love, romance, and all other things in marriage as well, right? And if you're into speculative investment, like share market, etc., then you have to be a little careful, be conscious again where you are investing, and don't plan long-term investments during this period, right? So guys, this were my thoughts on how 2023 transit of Saturn is going to impact Cancer ascendant. So I again would urge Cancer ascendant guys not to worry, because many people say that 8th transit of Saturn, meaning the Astama Shani, is generally very bad. But in your case, that is not true, because 8th house is the own sign of Saturn, right? So guys, if you like my video, please subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, I'll anyway be back with another interesting video, and I'm left with again 4-5 ascendant. So my plan is to do that soon, right? Thank you so much for watching.